welcome to Fandom Friday, a podcast series devoted to various fandoms, brought to you by the Ocean County Library's annual All-Ages Library Con, Fan Nation, the Geek Extravaganza. My name is Amy, and I'm a children's librarian, and joining me today is...
Erin, and I am also a children's librarian.
And my name is Hope, and I am an adult services librarian.
For today's episode, we'll be discussing Doctor Who. So our first question to discuss is, who is your favorite Doctor?
See, that's just a hard question.
You don't have a specific favorite? Like, I like them all.
I mean, I guess I would have to probably say 10, but I love them all.
Mine is 11, but that also could be because I started with 11. But I love Matt Smith.
Which is weird.
I'll explain that later. We're going to have another question for that. What about you?
Mine is 10 because I started with 10. But because I figured 10 was going to be a fan favorite, I also like 9 because he was only there for one season, but he did single-handedly bring back Doctor Who from the dead, or he regenerated it. I liked him because he was the one after the war, so he had that woundedness that he hid behind his cheery demeanor. But you would sometimes come out, like on the one episode, Are You My Mummy? And the doctor dances when he was able to save everyone. And he was so excited. He told Rose, this time everybody lives. And that was him in a nutshell.
I forgot about that. That's why that's my favorite episode of his.
And we will expand on that episode later.
Yes, I have a list, of course. I don't know if we should say this, but spoilers, obviously, if you haven't watched up to current time. Probably smart to say.
Who is your favorite companion? Okay, so...
Oh, she's ready.
This isn't going to be a shocker because it is Amy and Rory. Of course.
The Ponds. Unpopular opinion in the Whoniverse, though.
Really?
I feel like a lot of my friends that like Doctor Who like Rose, and
I like Rose and the Doctor together, but I like the adventures and the interactions between Rory and Amy and 11.
Yes, I agree.
You don't have that sort of thing with any of the other, partially because you basically have seen 11 knowing her since she was a kid.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's something about that, and just
different dynamic.
They make me happy.
What about you, Ho?
My favorite companion would be Donna, because she was the first one coming in that she wasn't into the Doctor as like a love interest, and she wasn't jealous of the Doctor. She was just no nonsense. Like when she comes in at the end of the Titanic episode, when she appears and she's like, "What? Where am I?" And she was all like yelling, and the Doctor was like, what? Like after all that emotion that he had, and just here she comes in like a bulldozer. She's not afraid to tell the Doctor when he's wrong, because sometimes 10 would kind of get intense and broody, and like he had a little bit of a dark side, and she would not let him do his thing. Because I think the other companions, they were kind of in awe of him, but she was just like, nah, you're not doing this. Yeah, that's
like comedic pair.
Yes. The chemistry, two of them.
Yes.
And if you watched other things, like a lot of their whatever the British version of comic relief is that they do.
Yeah. I don't remember what it's called.
But like I've watched many a time the clip where he comes in as an English teacher and during one of her this isn't Doctor Who.
Oh, I feel like I might have
her
seen part of
character that she's famous for, whose name I can't think of right now, but just the interaction between the two of them, and I'm pretty sure that they're also like friends outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
So like it comes through.
Well, I agreed with you. My favorite, just to be clear, is also Amy and Rory, but I wrote the Ponds. But I like them all for different reasons. Next question.
What do you think will happen on the anniversary special? If I saw the commercials correctly, I think Donna's coming back. Is she?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm excited about that because I was very sad after she left. All her memories got wiped, and I think that did her character a disservice. So I want her to remember things, and I think the Doctor's going to regenerate from 13 and go, hey, these teeth are familiar, and I'm still not Ginger. So, because
Have you not watched 13's
Did I?
Regeneration?
Oh, all right. I'm not
That
very.
exists in the world.
All right. So I'm a little behind.
I don't exactly remember 100% when he says, but if I did, I wouldn't ruin it for you.
So
But
there will be lots of time travel shenanigans. I'm excited. I don't have any like specific things I think will happen.
me neither. But I am excited to see what happens with the whole Donna thing, because wasn't it like, oh, if you remember things, you'll die or something?
Yeah.
Something dramatic. So like, how are they going to get around that?
I'm pretty sure Neil Patrick Harris is playing a villain.
I think so, yeah.
And I'm curious to see, first of all, this is one of the first times they've really brought in like Americans into the fold for the most part, except for because mostly it's unless they've been going to America. Even when they were in America.
I was gonna say, yeah, there weren't
that many Americans.
There were a couple, but not many.
But I think they may have been British people.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
The one with the moon landing, it was Mark Shepard, Scottish, but he was pretending to be an American.
Who's in every possible pop culture show ever.
Of course. It can't be a popular show if he's not in it.
He hasn't been in it somewhere. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited that it's going to be somewhere where I can see it because I don't have BBC, but it's going to be on Disney Plus. So that's awesome. I don't know if we're allowed to. I just finally got caught up. I decided to actually just buy the rest of the season because I'm like, I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, she kept asking me. I'm like, you're almost there.
So,
I'm excited too.
And I'm excited for my brain is just calling her Elle. I know that's not her name.
Oh, the girl from Heartstopper.
Yeah.
Whose name I also can't remember.
Yasmin. But I'm excited that she's going to be in it, at least for that bit. I don't think she's going to be a continuation because she's obviously got obligations. And it's cool that we're going to have, I believe, when the new doctor comes, I believe we might be getting into a different sexuality.
Ah.
It would have been cool if they somehow made him a ginger. It's possible.
Still not ginger.
He have hair dye. He can totally be ginger. Someone just needs to tell him that that's a thing.
Yeah, right. Let's do an episode where I'm ginger.
I really thought that they were going to take because she was a woman that they could have been like, well, she can just color her hair if she wanted to be ginger. Of course, they all could have if they wanted to. But
okay. Onwards. How did you discover Doctor Who? One of my friends got super into it and was like, you have to watch this. So I started watching, I think with her, I might have watched the first episode or two, but I started watching it season 5, which I said earlier, which was 11's first season. And she explained to me a little bit about like regeneration and stuff because he's going through it in that episode and I otherwise would have been very confused. So I watched that, and then I think I was waiting for season 6 to actually come on live. So I went back in the meantime and watched the first 4 seasons and the specials and stuff, which is, weird, but that's what I did. Erin?
I got onto it because my supervisor at the time, she doesn't work here anymore, was talking about it. I'm like, oh, well, I'll see if I can find it somewhere. And I started where you should. With the first episode, Rose.
Hey, I'm weird.
And I went in really with no knowledge of anything about it. And I was pulled in pretty quickly.
Wait, did you not even know about the regeneration?
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that took me. That goes to another question.
Oh, okay.
I was pretty quickly hooked onto that. Yeah, my kind of show. And then I also started watching Torchwood somewhere in there too.
Oh yeah, I watched that too. It was a good show.
That's the only offshoot of the Doctor that I have watched. I haven't watched like the Mary Jane Chronicles, and I feel like there's one other.
I haven't watched that, and then there was another spin-off during Capaldi's time that only lasted a season, I think. I can't remember what it was called, and I watched it, and it got better as the season went on, and then they canceled it. I can't remember what it was. It was like high schoolers or something.
Weird.
It was dumb at first, and then it kind of got better, in my opinion.
Wasn't that part of the season?
One of the episodes might have been, and then it
because Clara was working in high school.
Yeah, I think that's why it came about.
Okay.
Anyway, hope.
So I kind of came at it sideways. In high school, when I was studying Shakespeare, I found on YouTube Hamlet that has David Tennant in it. And, you know, at the end of Hamlet, you know, spoiler, Hamlet dies. Yeah. Sorry to break it to you guys. But at the end, in the comment section, everybody was going, regenerate, doctor, regenerate. And I was like, what in the world are they talking about? So I was looking into, like, what is this David Tennant guy into? And so I stumbled on Doctor Who. I started watching it, like, little clip snippets, episodes that they put on YouTube. And then I did have the BBC America, so I would put it on that. And then my dad would wander by and be like, oh, I remember that show. It was weird then. And, oh, it still looks weird. So at first, I was just watching it by myself. And then he was like, wait, I want to watch it too. So then I kind of started watching it. I tried to watch it in order, but I feel like I was kind of jumping around because I was at the mercy of whatever was on. I would record it because I didn't think of the library at the time, which would have been smart.
But now you can. Most of the
I do have a
newer
list,
seasons on DVD.
but I think so. I don't know, it's kind of out of order. We have most of it. Let's just put it that way.
We have a good selection.
Yes.
Especially the later ones.
Or get into it for the first time. Although you're kind of hearing some spoilers from us, but that's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes people want to watch more or read more, depending on the situation.
That is true.
Also, I do think it's really funny that you're like, what is this David Tennant into? Regenerate.
Yeah, no idea what that meant. Nothing.
It's like silently laughing over here. Okay. Moving on, I suppose.
Do you have a favorite episode? That's such a tough question.
If it helps you out, I have a few.
I mean, if we're going back to like the ones that I revisit, I do revisit this Empty Child and
That's
the
what it's
Doctor
called.
Dances, just because he's just so iconic there, and that's also you get your first taste of Jack. I also revisit the Pandorica episodes.
Those are good too.
I rewatch those a number of times as well. I tend to watch the ones that are a little happier.
Willingly.
I think those are probably the ones that in terms of a specific clip, I have a tendency to rewatch just the clip of Amy and Rory's wedding.
Oh, with the giraffe.
Where she brings him back.
Not that anybody can see me on the podcast, but
I like that clip a lot.
it's good.
But I think, those are the ones that I probably revisit the most.
So, possibly your favorites.
I did like Capaldi's first episode with the dinosaur. I was like, I'm enjoying Capaldi in this capacity. And him figuring out his accent and...
This is going to get us way off topic for a second, but I didn't actually, I liked Capaldi, but I didn't really start enjoying him until after Clara, which might be an unpopular opinion. I feel like they didn't gel as well as Clara and Eleven did, to me. And I know people that stopped watching because of her, and I was like, oh, interesting.
I think I stopped watching that time, but it wasn't because Clara. It was just I was in college. I had a lot going on. And I was, I'll get back to this. And then I'm like, oops, I haven't gotten back.
Fair. Erin's thinking really hard over here.
She wasn't my favorite companion. I understand. I think there's things I missed about her character that may have made a little more sense if I were to revisit, but
I never hated her. I just
No.
didn't really like her as much with Capaldi as I did with Eleven, for some reason.
well, for me, nobody was going to equal Rory and Amy with 11. So that may have also had some impact on it because she was never going to be Amy and Rory.
That's true.
Like everyone, I have a lot of favorite episodes. I'd say probably most of my favorite ones are the Russell T. Davis ones, which is why I'm excited he's coming back as a showrunner.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one favorite, probably the Christmas Invasion, because the holiday episodes, they're always fun. And that was the one where 9 had just regenerated into 10 and Tennant was running around in a leather jacket, which didn't hurt for my teenage eye. And plus, we had Rose's mom in it, and she was delights. So, and we get to see, like, where are we going, you know, after we've spent a season with 9, like, here's the new direction, and we're in good hands. But if we want the funniest episode, that was 9's episode, Aliens of London. That one gets a lot of heat for being too silly. It's when the aliens are disguised as members of parliament, and they sound like they're farting a lot because of the alien biology, and I laughed so hard in that episode. Come on, I'm a little kid inside.
That's sorry. Harriet Jones for the first time.
Oh yeah, Harriet Jones.
Oh yes.
Doesn't she look tired?
I just ruined something.
Spoilers. We warned people.
Didn't she have great arc there in the end?
Mm-hmm.
Harriet Jones is a hero.
Yeah. I feel like I kind of have a favorite for the first of 9, 10, and 11, ironically enough. And they also all happen to be Stephen Moffat.
Yeah.
Like Little Miss.
Well, they're all his episodes. So for 9, it was, Erin already said it, what are the names of those again? The Are You My Mommy episodes? I just said it. The Dr. Dances.
Empty Child.
Yeah.
And then the Dr. Dances, it was a 2-parter.
Yes. All of them are also 2-parters. I think I have a tell or something. So those are my favorite for 9. And then for 10, it's The Silence in the Library arc, which I can't remember the second episode name because it was just so good. And those villains were creepy, but more on that later.
Might have been Library of the Dead or something.
It might have been,
yeah.
Yeah, which is also the first episode we see River in.
Yes.
Very confusingly to us. Although I saw her in the next one I'm about to mention first, because I went out of order. My favorite for 11 in the initial seasons is, which I should have looked up the episode names. I'm sorry. The Weeping Angels ones, those 2-parters.
Where they're in the caves one, right? Is that the?
Yes.
Where
Amy gets the one in her eye. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it the Angels Take Manhattan? The final ones with the
That's where we lose.
I cry every time I watch that episode. No, it's in season 5 with is it one of the people named like Bob or something? Like they're with these like soldiers.
Yeah, it's before Rory becomes
a part of the crew. Yeah, it's right before that. And they're like walking. I think there is a cave, and they're like walking through, and all the like soldiers throughout the episode get taken by the angels, basically.
Okay, it sounds familiar.
I can look it up.
Yeah, she's watching it like on a TV, and they think that it's safe, but it's not.
Right, because it goes through.
Yeah.
Edit out this part.
Oh, Vincent and the Doctor. That's another good one. Sorry.
Oh.
It's The Time of Angels and then Flesh and Stone.
That one makes me cry.
Oh yeah, Vincent and the Doctor.
I watched the last bit of that as well a lot.
I also greatly enjoy, even though the ending is sad, the end of season 4 where it's a 3-parter. Where
everybody's together.
Where everybody comes back. It makes me happy.
Well, you get the Dr. Donna there.
Yeah, that is Dr. Donna episode. Yep. It's just so good how they all team up.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't have a lot to say on this one. This was an Erin question. But there's apparently a possibility of a musical episode because of Neil Patrick Harris and Jonathan Groff, among possible other people.
What's her name? Another person. She was just on. All right.
Oh, I don't know.
But she's also done Broadway.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that there's those, and also the costume that they revealed for that character has like piano keys.
Oh, see, I didn't see any of that.
There's all of this discussion that because they've got Neil Patrick Harris, they've got Groff, they've got
whatever her name is.
Their name.
We'll come up with it later.
That there's a possibility that there could be a musical episode. And they've never done it. They've done a lot of different things. What's her name?
Jinx,
but there's a
last name. Jinx Monsoon.
Jinx Monsoon, yes.
I do see the picture. There are piano keys.
Yes, so their costume's been revealed. I think they're a villain,
They look like a villain.
and I believe they're part of the 60th as well. But that's something that has not been done before. There have been other sorts of things, but there has never been a musical episode. And they were also saying something about somebody who's doing the music for the coming season also. I think it's intriguing that
It is.
because musical episodes can be either great or terrible.
Exactly.
Like we've got like the great example of One More Time with Feeling, the original Buffy.
Oh yeah, I haven't.
The musical Buffy episode.
I'm not entirely caught up on Buffy at all.
Amazing. And then there's been other ones that were not so much. Like every Riverdale episode. But that's just me.
Riverdale just wants to get the most outrageous
Well, but also,
that it can.
They also were just taking already shows, whereas
the
Buffy episode was original music. Anyway, back to Doctor Who.
Back to Doctor Who. Like, I think it would be cool if they did a musical episode, but at the same time, I don't know if I'd be 100% sad if they didn't.
Or maybe not even a fully musical episode, but maybe Neil Patrick Harris and Jinx Monsoon's characters use music as their
weapon.
Something, yeah.
I think it would be cool if you had an alien race that they could only communicate through music.
Song. That would be good. If it was good, I'd be happy for it. I think it would.
The real question is, can the new Doctor sing?
Oh, I don't know.
Because if he can't, that may not be. It may
Although
not be
if it's happening in the first part,
in the
pretty sure David Tennant can sing.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm down for hearing him sing. I've never heard him sing, but I would like to.
As far as pretty much anything, people will be happy to watch David Tennant.
As far as we know, Neil Patrick Harris is only going to be in the anniversary specials, but I don't know that it's officially been said if he's coming back in the.
Well, they said he has an arc.
Oh, okay, so he might be back. Anything else on the musical special, Erin?
That's all I heard. I was interesting.
It is very interesting.
And also, again, they were bringing in so many American actors.
Yeah.
Which is a first, I feel like.
In the past, the BBC only has like 3 actors, so they keep redoing them.
Well, but I mean, even John Barrowman, even though he's more British than American at this point.
Which regeneration made you sob the hardest? And Erin touched on this one earlier. It was the 3-parter at the end of Tennant's run. And they kept building up to his regeneration that someone was going to knock 3 times and Tennant was not down with going. And they even had it maybe at the end that he would survive and he wouldn't be regenerating. And then his line at the end, I don't want to go. Mm-hmm. And that's just, you're just sobbing and tears going down your face. And then he regenerates into Matt Smith. And Matt Smith's just a ball of energy. And he's like, I have legs. You have hair, and I'm crashing. And we're just well, it's like whiplash from a very sad moment to here's the new guy. He's just going to be this hilarious ball of energy. So, although I also found, I didn't really cry, but I was kind of disappointed the way 11 ended. He just stayed that one place forever, and then he lived his life and got old, and then he became Peter Capaldi, and I kind of wanted them to do more with that regeneration.
I guess I was more preoccupied with that because, there was the whole, how is he going to get a new set of regenerations? This is supposed to be his last one thing. So I didn't think about that factor as much, but actually my answer is probably also because he was my favorite. I cried the hardest with him, also because they had was it the AI or whatever that showed Amy at the end, and that's when I started crying. No, my first Doctor and companion.
Aww.
But they were all sad in their own ways. I cried in most of them.
That is true.
Because then you have to get used to a whole new Doctor, and they all wound up being great, but
yeah.
Obviously it was 9 because I didn't know that was what happened. And so I've come over those episodes to love him and him and Rose. And then that happens, and I'm like, I remember when I watched the first episode of David Tennant, and I'm like, I don't like this guy. I mean, by the end of that episode, you love him.
Oh yeah.
Like by the point when he's like, so that's who, when he decides that's who I am, and that whole.
So good when they figure that out. Like Matt Smith's coming out in his official like uniform, and the song, the song playing in the background, and the instrumental is called "I Am the Doctor" because I was like obsessed with that soundtrack. But anyway, it's so good.
I think because I did not know
That
that's how it worked. And
right?
I'm like, what is going on? How can they can't do that?
But they can.
And like, I totally empathized with Rose being like, this isn't the Doctor. And then, by the end, like, basically probably the moment he steps out of the TARDIS on whatever that thing is, the planet or ship or whatever it was.
Oh, I don't remember.
And like is going on, ooh, blood control. I haven't seen this in years.
Oh yeah.
And then after that point, you love him. But it's like something about Christopher Eccleston. And I was
good.
sad that he didn't come back in any of the further ones. But yeah, he was my, I guess, you never forget your first. He was my first Doctor.
But he's not your favorite.
Because also though we had I feel like we had the longest time with David Tennant.
We did. Well, no. I mean, it felt that way, but I think looking back, like a lot of them, other than Christopher Eccleston, they all had like 3 seasons.
Didn't he have more than 3 seasons though?
He had like a bunch of specials, I think. Well, because 2, 3, and 4 were Tennant, and then 5, 6, and 7 were Matt Smith, and then Capaldi had 3 seasons.
Did he have 3 seasons?
He did. 2 of them were with Clara.
Yeah. See, I guess I didn't pay as much attention.
And then Jodie had
2,
right? She didn't have 3, but she had all the specials. They went away.
Well, the Flux.
Right. I don't know. It does feel like Tennant had the most time, though, even though it's like equal.
I did also. I love them all for certain. I wish Jodie would have been given more deal with, although she did an excellent job, and I loved her companions and her interactions.
I think that they could have written her a lot better than they did.
I think the issue was they're like, oh, it's a woman, so we have to write her differently. No, it's the Doctor.
Right.
Write the Doctor the same. It doesn't have to be. It's a woman. It's a man. They could have been a goat, and you still write it the same. I mean, a talking goat, obviously, but.
Yeah, I mean,
they're like, still the Doctor. You don't need to write them differently.
There were scenes where I was like, oh, I really see how she'd be really great at this role. And then, like, it would just kind of go downhill. And I don't think it was her.
No,
but
she did great.
Yeah.
Right, Hope? Yeah, I haven't seen Jodie. Like I said, I stopped somewhere in the middle of Capelli. Like, not because I didn't like them. I just got distracted. But I'm of the firm belief it's never the actor's fault, it's the writing, because they can only do so much with what they're given. So
there was also the new writer for Jodie's seasons, and
yeah,
I don't
maybe
know.
they weren't quite, it took them time to get up to it. Maybe they were. I don't know.
Did Jodie interact with Missy? I can't remember.
Oh gosh, I don't think so.
That would have been interesting.
I don't think so.
I can't remember.
I think it was just spoilers for Hope. The new master, Robbie something or other.
Yeah, the spy master.
Robbie Cooper, I think.
According to this.
Oh, that makes sense.
That was a twist.
I was not expecting that.
No.
Anyway, you have something to look forward to.
Yes. I think another weakness I find sometimes between the doctors is each time you get a new doctor, sometimes the story writers feel like you can't ever revisit anything or anyone from the old doctor. I always wish they could go back and revisit some things, and the doctor could come back and be like, "Hey, it's me," and people would be like, "Wait, who are you?" But that never really happened.
Yeah,
they always wanted a kind of a clean cut.
What happened with somebody? Oh, John Barrowman came back in Jodie's, didn't he? Or was it Capaldi? John Barrowman came back for one of the last two.
I think it was in Judy because the fact that it was a woman.
I feel like he was like, oh, you're a woman this time. Yeah. So that was good. But other than that, like, I can't remember a specific. Oh, and I guess like Sarah Jane in the specials that we mentioned before.
Well, I mean, the companions have come back at other because they brought back for the one right before the last episode that's aired so far. They brought back Ace.
Oh, that's right.
They bring back companions. Sarah Jane's come back.
That's right.
Multiple times for different things. Just the doctor can't revisit where they have already been.
Right.
Oh, is that something they established?
I think so. Or at least even there's like specific instances. Like I don't think he or she can ever go back to where Amy and Rory are stuck.
I guess they can't. Yeah, the fixed point in times that they can't mess with.
Yeah. I mean,
and I guess it's an episode that
go ahead, sorry.
If it's an episode we've seen, that by definition makes it a fixed point in time.
Right. I mean, like, but then again, I thought that they were never going to go back to Donna because, you know, all her memories, they are somehow.
I think the writers were like, what do the people want? And the people told them what they wanted, and they were like, all right, we're going to give it to you.
David Tennant and, what's her name?
Catherine
Tate. I wanted to say that it felt wrong. The last question is, do we have a favorite villain and or a creepiest villain? I do really like all the different masters.
Yeah.
Because it's just the dynamic with the doctor and stuff. Creepiest, though, is probably what do we say they were? Vashta Nerada from the Silence in the Library episodes. But they're all creepy. Like, the Weeping Angels are also creepy. There's a lot.
Except for the thing with the Weeping Angels, they're creepy.
You can't blink.
But they don't actually hurt you. They just send you away.
They kill you
in your life, just in a different time.
The version in the Matt Smith episodes, though, I think, before Amy and Rory got sent back, the ones in the earlier episodes that we were talking about before, I don't think they sent you that.
Yes, they did, because she sent her grandson a letter.
No, I'm talking about that was
the first episode.
That was Don't Blink.
I know, but
no, the one after that with Matt Smith.
The angels aren't going to change their nature.
Go on talking. I'm going to look this up. I feel like there was something different about them in that one episode.
Because there was the one where you have like the angels have the phone box episode when the doctor got sent back in time. Like he wasn't killed, he was just stuck until they
I feel like
forget her name.
My thing though with why couldn't you just blink one eye at a time?
Because I don't know. People aren't that.
I'm just saying, because you're still watching it with one eye. That's my one thing with the Weeping Angels. I'm like,
it's a fair question.
I guess because it would have made it too easy. The Silents were pretty creepy.
Oh yeah, they were.
I don't remember them.
Yeah,
they were creepy because it was like you can't remember them. Yeah, very creepy.
But it's just what they want.
Yes, I was gonna say the Weeping Angels, but since we've talked about the Weeping Angels so much, I'm gonna say the Cyberman. That one episode with Mr. Pink, Clara's boyfriend, when he got turned into a
yeah.
It was just so sad. I just couldn't. Like, they just delete you, and there's no emotion. Like the Daleks, they're very emotional, but the Cybermen, they're just like, nope, we're just gonna delete you, and that's just what we're doing. And can't reason with them. You can't bargain. Nothing.
Clearly, people have been able to, in some cases, as with him, and I don't remember if it was the same episode or another one where, what's her name from Unit's father?
Kate Stewart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ended up as a Cyberman somehow.
That's right.
But he went and saved her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember when that was, but...
It might have been in one of the Flux episodes or something.
And also with, as much as he annoys me now, he was good as...
Sorry, I was trying to...
What's his name?
Figure out the Angels thing.
Annoying guy who's in every musical movie ever made.
Oh!
James Corden.
James Corden.
Before he became James Corden.
He was good in that episode.
He was. And he managed to fight against...
Was it a Cyber? No.
The Cybermen were in the department store.
Oh, yeah. There's so much. I need to rewatch.
One of the first Cybermen episodes. Wasn't Mickey there?
Yeah, I think it was, because that was a Rose episode. The very first time we see them in Who. Yeah.
I feel like the Cybermen showed up for each of the.
An angel snaps the necks of the rear guard. They kill them in those episodes.
Well, yes, but if they touch them and send them back.
How did they kill them without touching them? If they
That's
touched
what they
them.
do normally, but in those 2 episodes, they were different. I think because, so I'm reading this, and it says that they were like mad because one of them was killed on the ship with the clerics, and not soldiers, they were clerics. I think they were cleric soldiers to be exact.
Yes.
And they crashed on a planet, and apparently the angel on the ship purposely crashed the ship to rescue its kind, and there was like a whole army of angels, so they were like mad at the group.
Yes.
I don't know, they were different. There was like a radiation leak and stuff.
Yeah.
But normally, you're right, they're not creepy, as creepy. I digress. I had to find that.
Okay.
So on Hoopla, through the Ocean County Library, we do have a lot of the Doctor Who comics and radio plays. For the radio plays, they have across all the different Doctors, even the classic Who ones like Tom Baker, Colin Baker, and then also the New Who, since we're all New Who fans, for all you classic fans out there. And then the graphic novels, they all seem to be the New Who. But that way, if we really like, say, Tennant and we miss him and we want more from him, we can always go back and read the comics. So I'm definitely going to do that.
I might check that out. Other good episodes.
There's some characters who kind of get some. There's like people really like are kind of mean to Mickey sometimes. He had a great redemption arc.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, he was kind of annoying.
He was
at the beginning, and just like, Rose, why won't you love me? But I think where he ended up getting to prove himself as a hero was a good.
It was good ending.
That was it. I liked that episode because he goes and revisits everybody.
Oh, you know what other episode I liked? And these guys were creepy, and I can't remember what they were. But the one with the scarecrows, where the Doctor like has to forget who he is.
Oh, at the school.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, it was consciousness in the watch. Was it the consciousness in his consciousness in the watch?
School?
Yeah, he was a school teacher. It was a boarding school.
That's right. I forgot about the school part. I just remember the scarecrows and the fact that he didn't remember who he was, and Martha was there.
Yeah.
Those were good episodes.
Yeah.
Martha also kind of got the short end
I
of the
know,
stick.
I liked Martha, but everybody, like, the majority of people do not.
But I mean, she saved the world
I know.
a couple of times.
Yeah.
What I think about Martha, I liked her better when she came back after being companion, because she was one of the ones that I think it's the fault of the writers, but I think the writers thought we needed a romance arc, and she was interested romantically in the Doctor, and the Doctor was still, upset about losing Rose, so he wasn't into her, and she was pining after him, and
Oh my gosh, yeah.
that's kind of why she rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But yeah, she was, a good one. And I mean, they didn't really like touch on it very well, I don't think. But she was like even bringing the fact that she was a non-white companion. And a lot of where they're going in the past, Earth history at least, are mostly like very white areas. Because I mean, it's BBC.
That's right.
They can't really spend a lot of money to like go somewhere that doesn't look like England. But she was bringing up, hey, like I might stand out, I might be different, and that's not something that they ever really addressed. I mean, it was great that she could just be a companion. Her race didn't have to be like the whole focus, but I thought they might have been able to do more with her.
I feel like I vaguely recall like an episode or two where like one of the other people, when they went back in time, like commented on how, oh, this is your servant or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, no. But yeah, it wasn't very widely touched on. You're right.
Also, another thing that just popped into my head.
Sure.
It's interesting the number of people who were in Doctor Who before they were a main person. Martha Jones was in an episode before she was Martha Jones.
Oh, yes.
And Peter Capaldi was a star in one of
was in the same episode that Karen Gillan was in.
Although it's harder to tell her because she's got the
Oh,
face.
yeah.
There have been, I guess, some people theorizing that the reason that the Doctor became Capaldi is because he had seen.
Oh yeah, there was that whole like, oh, he remembers all his faces that he sees and kind of chose that face.
Yeah, but
that was also when they refreshed the regenerations, like he got a new cycle of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's like whatever you think about when you're regenerating. Remember River when she was regenerating? She was like, "Quiet, I'm focusing on my dress size."
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So I guess if you thought about having two heads.
I think we're on the same brainwave where she meets Capaldi's doctor.
No.
Special? Oh, you're talking about the one where she actually regenerates.
Yes. Well,
let's
kill Hitler.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one where
That's another clip I watch a lot of this, that you're referring to.
Yeah, where the Christmas special, I think, where she's with Capaldi.
The husbands of River Song.
And she first realizes that it's him, and they have this moment. That was a good one. I don't know that you got that far, Hope.
I don't think I even finished the first season with Capaldi because I don't remember any Christmas episodes.
Such a happy overall.
Oh, his first Christmas special was the one with all the Santas.
I don't remember.
Or Santa, yeah, Last Christmas. And then there was the Husbands of River Song in the same season.
Okay.
And then the Return of Dr. Mysterio. I was close. What did I say?
You just said Mysterio.
Oh, Dr. Mysterio. And then Twice Upon a Time, which is when his last one.
Going back, I like the episodes when lots of people converge upon together. Is it ever explained how what's his name becomes like their servant?
Oh no, Bill and something with an N. Nardole? What's his name? No, you're talking about somebody else. Oh, the potato.
Yeah. Like
the lizard woman.
Yeah.
And the potato. I can't remember their names. Yeah. I can't remember any of their names, but no, I don't think so.
I guess if we want more favorite episodes, another good episode that was creepy was the Waters of Mars.
Oh, I hated that one.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh. And the one where we never actually see the monster. What is it, Midnight Train or Shuttle or whatever it is? And like they start imitating.
I thought it was an airplane, but I might be.
Whatever it was.
And
with the guy that plays Merlin.
That's why I remember that one.
That one's kind of creepy because you never really know what's attacking them.
Always when they're very minimalist for the villains. Like when you don't see the villain, like that's when they're the creepiest.
Yeah. The whole story arc in season 5 is good with the crack.
Yes.
And you're like, what's going on? I just remember being like, I want to know.
That ended sadly.
And then that's why the Pandoric episodes are so good because there's so much happening.
Yes. At some point, does Rory become human again, or is he just always plastic after that?
I don't think it's ever really said.
Does he always have a gun in his hand?
I don't know. We're still.
So if he's always plastic, then why would he die and was he buried? In the Angels Take Manhattan, don't we see their tombstones?
That's true. So maybe he's not. Maybe we're just forgetting what happened. Or just like some unspoken thing where you're just supposed to know that, oh, he's back to normal.
That's a fun episode.
Maybe when everything like with the whole like, you know, Amy, they had to kind of go back in time and little Amy was back and maybe it just kind of got erased. Maybe that was the implication. And he was just always human.
Well, because he erases his memory, everything from her.
Right.
And then she remembers him.
Yeah. So that was probably just the implication. I don't know.
Well, we'll go with that.
He's human. It's okay.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too.
We don't have an actual air date yet, right? So just December, probably.
We literally just got the episode tables for the specials. I think the 50th anniversary came out in like November-ish, so it might be November. I think all we know is like fall, if I remember.
Yeah, November is the 50th, so that's when I imagine they're going to do it.
Probably in November sometime.
Back in the day, I saw that in the movie theater.
Me too.
The Day of the Doctor.
That's another good moment when they all come together, and then you see Capaldi's eyebrows.
was a good.
And like Rose is there, but she's really not, and he can't see her. Oh, that was a good episode.
I mean, it's still bitter. Like, yes, part of him got Rose, but
I know. That's the whole point.
and then did they have kids?
Maybe. We don't know.
I would like to know.
Or what about the doctor's daughter? And she went off to explore, and we never saw her again.
Never saw her
Because
again.
he married her, and it would have been weird.
In real life, not in the show.
Yes.
I mean, the whole thing is sort of because she's actually the daughter of another doctor.
I know.
So do we think I mean, I feel like for every doctor they bring in, at some point they have to interact with the Daleks and the Cybermen.
Oh, yeah.
Do we think they'll bring back any other?
They brought back a bunch of villains for the Flux episode, so maybe someone we've not seen, or maybe like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, did we?
It was like the Angels came back for the Flux episodes.
Yeah, and also because the timelines are just so
Wibbly wobbly, tiny.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Time is just a ball of
Yeah,
stuff. I can't remember the exact line.
it would have been interesting. I would have liked to have seen River come back while the Doctor was Jodie, just to see.
Yeah, I wanted to see that too. I also really wanted to see John Barrowman with Matt Smith, but that time has way passed. It's like, come on.
Wait, he never was with.
No, or Capaldi. He didn't come back until Dirty.
He didn't have one with Capaldi.
Maybe he was busy. I don't know.
He was busy doing Torchwood stuff, okay? Maybe we should all end with our favorite Doctor's catchphrase.
True.
So I could start. Fantastic.
Alonzi.
Geronimo! All right, on that note, thanks for listening. Be sure to visit our website, theoceancountylibrary.org/teens/fannation for a listing of all events happening this year. All titles mentioned on today's episode can be accessed for free with your library card. Until next time, have a fantastic day.